Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be having a long overdue look at RaceRoom Racing Experience. Now this is on Steam. It's one of those free to play type deals. You download the content for free and then you pay for tracks and cars. Depending on how deep your pockets are, the more tracks and cars you can have. Now I've had this simulator for probably 3 years. And I'm embarrassed to say that I've spent about 2 hours on it. And one of the reasons is because I could never get the triples set up. But we'll talk about that in a little while. So in today's video, we're going to be having a look at what it looks like, how it performs on triple 1440 screens, how it drives, what the force feedback's like. And we'll have a quick look at the content. So let's get on with it. So here we are in the simulator. Now, I'm a big fan of simplicity. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. Now, the main screen in RaceRoom, dead straightforward. Do you want to play on your own? What do you want to do? Do you want to create a championship? Dead easy. But we're going to have a look at that in a little bit more detail shortly. But we'll have a look at the options first. And we're going to talk about the UI, what I think about the layout, and what things could maybe be changed, in my opinion. But we'll have a look at that. So we'll go into the options. First of all, the sound. I've got one little gripe in the sound settings. Now I've turned the tyre noise down, which I'm guessing is the scrub volume and skid volume. Let's just call it tyre noise. Let's just call it tyre noise. Incorporate them both. Tyre noise. Tyre volume. Up and down. Simple. Anyway. Backfires. Some of the cars in this game, the backfire sounds astounding, but we'll talk about that later. So gameplay settings, I've changed this to 900 to match my wheel rotation. I always use 900 degrees. Pretty much left everything as it is, although I've turned off track map and some other bits and bobs, user preference, but everything in there is pretty much straightforward. Control settings, I couldn't get it to pick up my Fanatec DD1 initially for some reason, but I restarted the game and it picked it up just fine. I have mapped a couple of buttons, enough to get me going. Force feedback wise, I copied James West Game and Muscle videos. He did a video a few months ago on force feedback in RaceRoom. I've copied his pretty much, although the vertical load and lateral force I have a little bit higher than him. I like more of a feeling of weight the faster we go. And what else have I changed? There's one other thing. Understeer. He had his at 50 something %. It just felt a little bit too loose for me, that. So I've set mine down to 10%. So that's all straightforward, good. So video settings. So I'm running everything on as high as I possibly can. So there's my resolution there. Now, another gripe I've got here is you can't set up the triple screens in the sim. Now, if you look in the top left corner now, there will be a video there that you can watch me, or where I explain how to set up triple screens in RaceRoom. I would have liked to have seen that actually in the simulator. I don't know if that's going to appear at some point or not, but it would have been easier if you could do it in the sim on the fly and see what you're actually changing. Because it's not really a good way of doing it, I don't think, anyway. So we'll have a look at the graphics setting just so you've got some context, because I'm going to have the frames per second on screen. So we have everything on as high as we possibly can. I've not scrimped on anything. Everything's on high. In fact, I don't know, 52, it's on high now. Everything's on high, even the cockpits in the opponent's cars. That's all there. Right. Happy with that. And I think it looks really good, to be fair. It looks really good. So that's all there is there. Nothing else to talk about on the options. So let's have a look at the content, the cars and tracks. So we'll go into a single event because I'll set up a very short Porsche race like I did in Automobilista at Silverstone, I think I did. So we'll do the same again. So, cars. lots and lots of cars to choose from. I own all the content in RaceRoom, thankfully. So we've got the Porsche Cup car that we're going to try out, but there's prototypes, there is open wheelers, there is GTR4, which is your GT4, GTR3, which is your GT3 class, GTR1, I presume they're the GTEs. Are they? No, they're not the GTEs. What's GTR2? I don't know, actually. I need to look at those in a bit more detail. GTO Classics, I'm dying for a go in those things. And one class that I didn't know existed until I started having a look at RaceRoom was this class that we're going to look at maybe later or in another video. And somehow this class has bypassed me in my life. I didn't even realise it was there. It's the Group 5. These are absolutely insane. High-powered, turbocharged, most of them turbocharged. I've had to go on the Corvette. That sounds like it's supercharged. Oh, and the noise from the supercharger is incredible. I'll probably have a look at those in another video. Maybe do a shootout with those, I don't know. But there's any kind of cars from the early 90s German touring cars. What else have we got in here? There's your touring car classics. There's the touring cup car things. What else is the Audi TT? I've raced those online. The Porsche Cayman. There's lots and lots of cars to choose from. So if your pockets are deep enough, then you're going to have an absolute blast. So we're going to select the Porsche Cup car, the 2019 Porsche Cup car. We'll just, in any old livery will do. Now, what I would have liked to see on this screen, this is another gripe. It's a very small gripe though, is, so if we want to drive the Porsche, there's no information on there about the car telling me power, weight, the engine type and all that kind of stuff. You've got to go in the stores if you're buying the car and it tells you all in there. It would have been nice to include it on here, you know, so you can click the car and it takes you to this track, the screen here. It would have been nice to actually be able to see a little bit more information about the car. So let's have a look at the tracks. Lots of tracks to choose from. Some very well-known tracks such as Spa, Silverstone, Bathurst. There's some smaller tracks, Swedish tracks. I'm sure the developers are Swedish. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they are Swedish. But lots and lots of tracks to choose from. Quite a selection there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 40. So there's 50 odd tracks there. So plenty of tracks to choose from. But we're going to select Silverstone. And we're going to select the Grand Prix. So let's have a look at AI. So could I select a multi-class race here? So there's the Porsche there. So if I wanted to race GT4s as well, for example. So we wanted the Cayman. What would that? Does that replace? Yeah. Can we select multi-class here or not? I don't know how to do this. I've never really done this. Well, I haven't done this before. Never really doing it. Where was that Porsche? There it was. So I don't know if you can have multi-class racing on here or not. Or is it set on here? So AI difficulty. Put that on 95. AI opponents. Let's go for 39. Time of day. You can't have nighttime, I don't think, on RaceRoom or wet weather, which is a little bit of a downer, but never mind. So we'll go for dawn. I always think early mornings are a beautiful time of day. So we don't want practice. We don't want qualifying. So we'll have race laps. So we'll go for 3 laps around Silverstone. Standing start. So no pit stops. There's lots and lots of options to configure your race here as well. So if we go on qualifying, So you can have reverse grids, you can have elimination type qualifying, which is really good. I like that. So 39 opponents, 95 AI difficulty. I think that's all done and dusted. Right, let's see how the Porsche handles when we take it out on track. So here we are then, about to start the race. Now you can see in the top left there is a frames per second counter there. So it is going to take a bit of a hit because we have set the time to dawn. And as a result, everything is drawing shadows left, right and centre. So my frames are going to be a lot lower than probably what they usually would. Got to remember that the 3090 isn't a magic wand. So we can't expect over 100 frames per second all the time. It is going to dip. And we have got everything on full. So I'm just trying to put everything into context. We've got everything on as high as we possibly can. We're starting P11, although we did say we were going to start at the back, didn't we? But never mind, starting P11. Right, let's get out on track. See how this Porsche drives. Oh, one thing I will mention, actually, in the car setup, I couldn't figure out why the steering felt strange. And it's because the steering angle was set to something different. So in every car, I change it to 900. That's just my preference. That's the rotation that I use in Fanalabs. So 900 on there. Feels great now. Right, let's get on track. So frames, 50 frames. So we're in the shade right now. So you'll see when we get around this corner that there'll be shadows all over the place. Not a bad start, not a bad start. And you can see all the opponents. We're drawing all their mirrors as well. There's all the shadows that I mentioned. Can we get round without being killed? We don't have a spotter on. We should have really put a spotter on. I presume Crew Chief works with RaceRoom. I've seen it in the options. In the Crew Chief options, I mean. So I'm pretty sure it'll be compatible. When it looks good, it looks really good. I can't complain about how it looks. Oh, understeer. Oh, sorry, me old hooker. Yeah, I was a bit... Lock the brakes up going into that turn there. Definitely feel it lock up. So there's quite a lot of grip in this Porsche Cup car. Generally speaking, it's quite hard to spin unless you are really, really clumsy with the right foot. You've probably more chance of spinning under braking in this car, I think, on RaceRoom. So force feedback wise, I think it feels quite good. I don't think I've got it dialed into where I want it completely yet, but I think it feels all right. There's a definite sensation of weight in the car through the force feedback, which I like. The AI is kind of behaving quite well. It doesn't really give you the impression that it is AI. Where on, I think it was Automobilista that I looked at, where it was on off, you know, accelerate, brake. You really did know that was the AI. Oh, we've got to run. That's one lap down. Oh, he's held it round the outside, has he? This guy's on my left. Sound-wise, he's still there, still on my left. Sound-wise, I've never been in a Porsche GT3 Cup car, so I don't know. But there seems to be more gearbox whine than anything else. It doesn't feel that throaty, if you know what I mean. Although in a couple of other cars that I've tried, such as the GT3 Mustang, that sounds good. That does sound good. I should have probably put the time multiplayer up a bit, actually. We could have had a look at the... see what I mean about losing it on the brakes? So we're up to P5, lap number 2. I quite like the UI on screen. A bit of a cheeky attempt there, but we've got him done. I quite like the UI on screen. I do. It's simple. I like it. I like that at the top. For your relative at the top. I like that. That's good. It's got all the information that you need at the top end. I like that. We might be able to get another position here, you know. Oh. Woo! I saw a race win then. We're all battling for the podium. Sorry. Sorry. Right, going on the final lap. I killed that man. He's dead. I reckon we could get a win here, you know. I wouldn't drive this online, I promise. Wouldn't drive like this online, should I say. That's probably cheating. Oh! Is he still there? No, squeezed him out. Squeezed him out. He's not going to get up my inside here. That's us up to P1. Oh, it's wide again. Ah, he's right. Drop back a bit now. Nearly second back. That was all kinds of wrong though, around there. Ah, I've got plenty of space between me and the guy in P2 now, so we'll just bring this home. That's a challenge though, on 95, and it goes up to 120. So there's a definite challenge in the AI, that's a certain. Is that it? There we go. D. Cameron, we've got the win. Never trust anybody in a pink car. That's what they say in sim racing, isn't it? But I enjoyed that. That was really good fun. The AI behaved not very AI-like, if that makes sense. Sometimes, yeah, they braked a little bit early, but they were too wide. They didn't give it up so easily. I was impressed with the AI then. I thought they drove remarkably human-like, I think. But yeah, good fun though. Good fun. So that's a race against the AI. Right, so let's see if we can get a race against other human beings. So, click on multiplayer. Let's see what happens. We don't want full service. We want eligible. I'm not bothered about only ranked. Refresh this list. So what have we got here? So there's the rookie servers. I have done 2 online races earlier on today. Try it out. and it was at Brands Hatch in this Audi Sport TT Cup, and we did get a race. So that's I like that session. Tells you what session it's in. It's in practice. How long's left? How many players? I like that. So can we? So we don't want to see closed sessions. No, we don't want to see private. We don't want to see empty. Or is that? Is it showing us? So does this? Yes. We don't want to see private. We don't want to see closed. And we don't want to see full. Right. Okay. So these are all the ones that we can join. Guessing. Right. So players. So there's 4 players in that one. So if I wanted to do an online race, I click that one and click go race. Right, let's see. Right, choose our car. Right, we'll go for the 16 one. There we go. Any livery will do. Right, see if we can get into an online session. Press any key to continue. Right, here we go then. So, timing. So there are people in the server. So there's 10 of us, is that right? No, there's 4 on track, 8 in pits. There's 12 of us in total. Welcome to this ranked server. Incident point limit is set to 40. The ratings are visible in your profile page. Bad behaviour may result in a ban from ranked servers or a full game ban for the worst offenders. Join our Discord server. Right. Break to get rid of the message. Happy days. We are in a multiplayer lobby on RaceRoom. That easy. That's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. And these are ranked as well. I think with a similar kind of concept to what iRacing has with incident points and there being some kind of driver rating. So happy days. Happy days. So we didn't do the online race there. We jumped in. We could have done it if we wanted. I did 2 earlier on today and they were fine. Although typical public server racing, there was a couple of bad moments in there, but I guess that's the rookie series on RaceRoom, and I guess the more you progress and the higher your license gets and the more, I can't remember what it's called now, experience points or whatever it is, the more you get, the better races you get into. So I think that's how it's going to work out. So, unscripted as always, what do I think of RaceRoom? Well, I am embarrassed to say that I've neglected this for so long. I think it's an absolutely brilliant simulator. I really, really like it. I'm so impressed. And like I said, I can't believe that I've missed out on this for so long. I'll definitely race this again. I'll explore the offline content quite a bit with the cars and have a bit of a play around in those because there's some really fun cars that you can get. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing a bit more RaceRoom. So what do I like about it? Well, I think graphically, I think it looks great. Although we were down to 50 frames per second in that race, it's a buttery smooth 50 frames, like that looks really good. I'll probably tweak some of the settings. I wouldn't have everything so high. That's just crazy if you don't need to. Obviously, if you can get a few more frames, it would be better. But I always say that 60 frames, if you get a smooth 60 frames per second in sim racing, that's plenty. That's plenty. So what do I like about it? Graphics. I think the graphics are great. Car handling, I think, is superb. I do expect a little bit more movement out of the likes of the Porsche Cup car that we've just driven. Maybe I'm just a little bit, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to the one on iRacing where that thing is an absolute nightmare to drive. But on other sims, it isn't. So maybe, I don't know what's right and what's not right. I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't know. I'm not a real racing driver. But it's still fun, even though it does have a bit more grip. It's still really good fun. The AI, I thought the AI were brilliant. A definite challenge. I had it on 95%. Goes up to 120. So there's definitely more room there. The more you progress on RaceRoom, or the better you get. In the garage, there's lots and lots of adjustability with the cars, which is good. You can save and load your setups. I like that. What else do I like? I like the menu system. It's nice and simple. And as I mentioned earlier on, I do like simple things. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. Everything is pretty clear. The only thing I didn't like is how to set up the triples, which I'm not going to go on and go on about that. But once the setup, the triple screens look really good in RaceRoom as well. What else do I like? Car selection, it's varied. Lots and lots of car choice. Tracks, lots and lots of track choice. You're not going to get bored with the content on RaceRoom. That's for certain, as long as you've got a few quid in your pocket. What do I dislike? Oh, the force feedback I quite like. Although that could be a dislike as well. There's some parts of it where it feels a little bit numb. Then there's other parts where it blows me away. Like, I spun earlier on and I got a flat spot. And I could hear it and I could feel it. That blew my mind. I got a flat spot. Who knew? Who knew? So that's a massive plus point. There's no night time. There's no rain. Although there are transitions in the time of day, obviously. There's no night time, so you can only go from dusk to sunset, which is a shame, but you can't have everything, it would seem. What else do I dislike? I don't think there's anything else that I dislike, really. Oh, the finding out the information about the cars. If that was on where your car selection is, there's a little box that popped up. This car is from whatever year, how heavy it is, how much power, what kind of engine. Just me as a nerd, I like to know that kind of thing. But as an overall driving experience, I tried this for yesterday and today. I've spent a bit more time with it. And I think it's absolutely incredible. I really think that it's an unappreciated driving simulator, as is R Factor 2. That's the same. I don't think either of those two simulators are appreciated. Maybe because they're from smaller development companies. You've got the likes of iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Assetto Corsa. Huge companies in comparison, whereas RaceRoom and R Factor 2, a little bit smaller, but arguably better driving experiences. So will I spend a bit more time on RaceRoom? Absolutely, no question. Would I recommend you get it? Well, it's free on Steam. Go and download it. And the good thing with that, with RaceRoom, is you can try any car you want. I think you can test drive any car you want for a period of time to see if you like it. Why not? Download it. If you don't like it, uninstall it. If you like it, then you're on to a winner. So anyway, that's my thoughts on RaceRoom. It gets a massive thumbs up from me when I really didn't think it would, to be honest, but a massive thumbs up from me. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, subscribe and all that kind of stuff, turn on the notifications and all the rest of that jazz. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers.